back, people, and today we're breaking a film on the Miami Dolphins defense versus the Green Bay Packers, the Thanksgiving game. It was a rough game overall, I think, for the whole team. But what it really comes down to, I think, for the defense upon the rewatch, is it literally was just the missed tackles. They, had over 20 missed tackles, and it wasn't even like it was from mostly the running game. It was just off quick catches, dump-offs, that type of thing for the Dolphins, and there's just some missed opportunities for the team. I think the missed tackling comes down to a few things. Like, really, if there was people affected by the cold, it was mostly like the defense out there, and it was really came a lot from the secondary and some of the linebackers. The D line actually had a fairly solid game. They limited Jacobs to like 2.3 yards per carry. I thought Sealer and Campbell were definitely your best defensive players, but Campbell's playing limited snaps, and I think that kind of brings to my point is the defense is just old, and I think they looked tired in this game. Like, a lot of players, didn't play well, but I think a combination of like the cold weather, them being old, being also it being a Thursday game, so I think that plays into it, them being tired as well. And then just overall, I think with the injuries that have happened, I don't think the defense is talented enough. There's also some coaching issues I had in this game, some unfortunate things that happened, some big third downs, just missed opportunities, undisciplined play that all happened out there. But really, also, I think it just came down to the defense, just missed tackles. It's pretty much what it was. And there's things I want to see them do. But once they fell down 14-0, they actually, they weren't, the defense unit still, like, struggled, but, like, they were at least competitive. I think that was the problem just with the whole team is, like, who knows what happens. If you don't fumble that punt, or muff that punt off the rip, the whole game's just different, which I think there's a possibility for that. But, yeah, that was really, you just lost the game very, very quickly in this one, going down 14-0. Defense played a part in that for sure, but it really started with the special team stuff, so we'll go back down, break down this first play, which is actually a positive one, because the Dolphins defense did come out and get a 3-and-out right away, and unfortunately, this is why this game is a game of inches. This was barely a pass by Jordan Love. Dolphins rotate into a cover 3. I actually think they do a good job on the back end, and this is where, it happens. They knock the ball, and it's barely a pass. That's a fumble. The whole game could be different. Who knows? This is what happened on the first 2 drives that could change the game. You get the stun up front. Also, I would say, yeah, Sealer and Campbell both played good games, but they were on, they have to rotate in and out. Chop didn't really make any impact plays for the most part. Like, he got involved on this one, had a decent rush, but he was, like, as you can see here, he was the main focus of the Packers offensive line. He was getting chipped by the tight end the whole game. And this is really, like, a big difference is, see how long it is? It's a 3rd and 14. Dolphins could not get the Packers in situations like this for the rest of the game. They were all, like, easy 3rd down conversions. And the Dolphins, I feel like, just play too soft in a lot of those, like, 3rd and mediums, 3rd and shorts. I would like to see more man-to-man in those situations. But, like, they cover everything up pretty well. So they work a stun up front. Sealer gets after it. Could have been a potential film. Like, great rep from Sealer. Sealer was definitely the best player in this game, in my opinion. Campbell made some good plays, too, but he played on a limited snap count. And then we muff the punt. Now the Packers are down here. 3rd and goal. Just good play action. Jaden Reed sells the blocking right here. He's selling stock blocking. He squares it up. And then he breaks away and he gets one-on-one with Storm Duck. And it's not, so he just beats Storm Duck just enough. It wasn't like he absolutely cooked him or anything. Beats him just enough, and it's a great throw from Jordan Love. Like, if he put that any more to the inside, Duck makes a play on it, and then they get the touchdown. So they just executed, finished. Tough to blame this first touchdown on the defense because they started at the 9-yard line because of a muff punt. But this second drive is where pretty much the game was over, honestly, because the first offensive drive for the Dolphins didn't go well because of dumb penalties. But then just some missed opportunities. One, Packers missed this opportunity. This is just actually a really high-level play from Love to fit this into this window. But Wicks, he leads the league in drop percentage, I believe, and bounces off his hands. This is one of those plays where it's like, damn, if we could convert this, but Watson, the other receiver's there. Like, if he's not there to hit that ball, Kohu probably gets the interception. Plus, Kohu also got injured on this play, which hurt because I feel like the Dolphins had a lot of injuries in this game, more than usual, and it was defensive back play, and the DB struggled, the safety struggled, the corner struggled. I believe almost, like, we had, like, 3 corners get hurt at some point, and you were also down Kendall Fuller coming into the game, but just missed opportunities. This is where the thing could change. You could have a potential fumble on the first drive, and the second drive you could have a potential interception. It just didn't go that way, and then after that, you didn't really have any opportunities for turnovers, and the Packers just converted. And this is kind of the difference. They get a 3rd and short, so it's like a 3rd and 4 situation, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. I would love to see the Dolphins play more man-to-man in these situations. I know they don't go man-to-man super often, but it just feels like they're comfortable with that. I know their EPA is also better when they go man-to-man, but they actually do a decent job on this side. Like, Love starts to his right. They try to hit this to Christian Watson. Dotson and, Brooks actually do a decent job taking away these throwing lanes. Dotson and Brooks both had positive plays. As I talked about with Dotson last week, he's good in coverage, but I had concerns about him coming into this game. And you'll see that because Dotson definitely struggled when it came to like making open field tackles and some certain plays versus the runs. Brooks made some quality plays, but also was, inconsistent in this game. They take away that instant look, and I think they just get too soft on this side. Is that they're trying to take away these throwing lanes, not give up anything easy in this part of the field. So like Holland's in a tough spot here, but I feel like they've struggled with this all season. Is when the tight end chips in late releases. They just give that as an easy check down option. He catches it, and then Holland tries to jump it. He catches it and then gets upfield and picks up another 10 yards on the play. Tucker Kraft was killing the Dolphins. Dolphins could not bring him down easily, and that's just a huge throwing conversion as they were getting that fairly often. Too many easy completions. And then just like great run game design from the Packers. All these like motions and different shifts, I think, catch the Dolphins off guard. This was one of the, this was definitely Jacobs' most successful run. And it came against when, the backup interior D-line was on the field. Deshaun Hand gets double teamed. Neil Farrell gets a play. And then with the sifting tight end, Brooks is kind of looking over the top. Dotson gets taken 101 by 71. And it's just Brooks right up the middle. Free lane. Picks up easy yardage on the play. But that was definitely his most successful run. He had a big Euro reception, obviously, but outside of that, it was fairly good run defense from the Dolphins, which was kind of surprising. Here you get the starters in. You have 3 D tackles on the field. Quentin Bell just does a great job resetting the line of scrimmage, forcing this back to the inside and then peeling off it, making a play, and then everyone's kind of there in pursuit. Sealer, Benito Jones, good job there from Sealer too. He would have been there right there for the cutback. But yeah, I think overall, this was not my issue with the game. It wasn't like they just got bullied up front. Like, the Packers have a good O-line, and they definitely had some good reps, and they made it harder to get after the quarterback on a consistent basis, but it wasn't like that, just like some pure domination, especially like what I thought watching the game live. So the D-line played better than expected. It really came down as just every time they dumped the ball off, got the ball in space, jet sweep, that type of thing. Too many big plays. This was a huge run, because this was a 3rd and like 4th, or like a 3rd down situation, like a 3rd and, between medium and short. This is just a poor play from Terrell Dotson and Calais not being on the same page. Is Calais knifes to the inside, and he's got to be able to, Dotson's got to be a little more patient, because once Campbell knifes you to the inside of the A-gap, you got to be able to stay square, read this, and then scrape over the top and fill into this B-gap, which he doesn't. And Campbell takes on 2, Sealer. They just catch the Dolphins off guard in this situation, because the Dolphins were clearly expecting pass, get after the pass, and Manuel Wilson breaks that tackle. Probably would have scored. Poyer barely trips them up. Poyer, still not good. Probably your worst defensive player on the team. And then they get down to the 1. Almost a great play here from Benito Jones. He saw this space, a little wide split here, and he just tries to shoot at field. Almost tackles Jordan Love before the handoff. And then Josh Jacobs works down the line. He sees inside leverage, gets Duck 1-on-1 in the hole. It's going to tough ask for Duck to just completely blow up Jacobs without any help there, and Jacobs barely gets in. So that was a touchdown, nothing too crazy. 1-yard rushing touchdown, but them getting down there, that basically puts the game away. And even though, now that the Packers showed run, they get the jet sweep going, and this is just Ogba unaware, undisciplined, doesn't like feel this at all, doesn't see it as peripherals and motions coming, doesn't shoot up field. He, gets down, condensed with the line of scrimmage. He loses contain. Reed hits the edge, and then it's just getting blocked. Holland gets blocked by Tucker Kraft, gets bullied over there. We're getting blocked by the receiver, and then you'll just see poor tackling attempts. Jordan Poyer, missed tackle. Jalen Ramsey, over pursue, missed tackle. And and then I think Storm Duck makes the play from the opposite side. Literally, like, look, this is who makes this tackle on this play. This is the defender right here that makes the tackle on this play. 36, nowhere near it. It wasn't a good game from Storm Duck either. He had negative plays. He gave that touchdown. He gave some other potential big plays, but you're having undrafted rookies in there. Even though they have good moments, they're gonna have those negative games moments. I mean, the rookies really struggled in this game. Malik Washington on the muffed punt. Wanted to show this play because the Dolphins got a third down stop. It was one where they could get after the pass rusher pretty quickly. They got Calais after him pretty much unblocked. It wasn't like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. It was, like 3rd and 7 situation. So definitely a little tougher, but keeping them in these situations and then going man to man. Because even though, like, look at the top, like, this one's actually open. Ramsey actually gets beat by Dontavian Wicks, but everything else is covered up, and it just forces quick decisions, and you bring 5 basically after the quarterback, or like you show blitz. Now you get man-to-man, and like Saran Neal on Jaden Reed, even though this can create more big play opportunities, I feel like it just puts a little more pressure and stress on the quarterback, and I'd rather do that, and I feel like the Dolphins defense, even though you might see them get PIs in these situations or something like that, you're giving up the first downs already on the soft zone stuff. I would love to see more man-to-man just like that. Big run opportunities. Packers, a lot of motion. I feel like Dolphins just played with some poor run fits. Like this motion around here with Jacobs just takes Brooks out of the play, gets him widened, so less numbers in the box. And then, these guys are like, he's getting double teamed. He fills up in here. Everyone's kind of, filling up here. But Agba is late on the backside. As we saw that jet sweep earlier, he was not contained there. And now this time, once it's handed off, he's too late to constrict down. So they're putting him in position. And then he has to try to make the tackle, which he doesn't. Chris Brooks bounces off of him. Holland, I guess, almost misses the tackle. He basically misses the tackle, but he will get, because he tripped him up just enough, but he still falls forward for 5 yards. Just too many big plays given up in these situations. This one, Love had some decent time in the pocket. They tried to bring some, pressure here with Jalen Ramsey. They picked up everything very, very nicely. So Love gets a clean pocket. Actually, a pretty good rep here from like Agba in coverage. Everything's actually covered up decently well. This was called defensive pass interference, which is a little wild to me. Like Cam Smith has not played good. Don't get me wrong, and I, don't want to like excuse him, but like I don't think he like usually you initiate the contact if it's pass interference. But like he's trying to open up. Christian Watson just runs into Cam Smith's space, drops his shoulder into him, throws him to the ground, falls off balance, and then still makes the catch, and they called that defensive pass interference. That should, one, at most, it, like, because the ball hasn't even been released yet, so it shouldn't have been pass interference. If they were going to call defensive anything, they could have called illegal contact. But this should be OPI, in my opinion. The refs were not on the Dolphins' side. They were not playing to help the Dolphins. But that didn't matter. They were going to lose the game regardless. They just lost the game very quickly due to many different possibilities. This was a huge drive. If this touchdown drive didn't happen, this game actually Dolphins probably would have slightly brought this back because the offense started performing and the defense didn't give up too many points in the second half. But this was right before the first half. Packers run RPO. Jordan Love just sees to the side of the field, like he's got the number advantage he wants. Like this one corner here, the safety's playing off leverage. Jordan Brooks is the only one who can really make an impact there. But he's the conflict defender. He sees the run. He wants to, play outside leverage. Boom. He gets frozen. They throw the ball. He's late to react. I don't even blame Storm Duck for how he plays this. Because Storm Duck put in such a tough spot here. So he either has to, take on the block and set the edge or try to shoot to the inside and make the tackle. He tries to shoot to the inside to make the tackle. He almost does. He takes the risk to be like, okay, maybe I can make this tackle at the line. He doesn't. But to be fair, if he tries to take the outside lane, Jaden Reed probably just, sees this and is able to still cut up and get upfield. But doesn't work out. And then Poyer gets blocked by Dontavian Wicks, and Brooks, late to see it, gets there in pursuit, but it's just too late. So just some poor discipline on the play, pretty much all around. Late to recognizing stuff, and they get a touchdown. Another Jaden Reed touchdown. And yeah, defense was not good in this game. And this was right before the half. They get the ball. Dolphins go pretty soft here in coverage. Ramsey does get put into like kind of a spot here, but I feel like he should get downhill a little bit more and kind of squeeze. It's not a give this up to Tucker Craft. They throw this, boom, Tucker Craft, and then he misses the tackle. Even Ramsey's missing tackles. Get upfield, he picks up an extra, almost 10 yards on the play, which gets them closer and closer to field goal range. They finish that drive with a field goal. Too many missed tackle opportunities. Too many times, I think, playing soft on defense. This is another big third down conversion. This is one where, like, I actually don't mind the call necessarily. They go quarters, but they go like a tricks. So, like, this is versus 3x1. And this safety on the backside who's playing his quarters, his eyes and body is he's just going to try to find the number 3 of this side. So his duck is just locked up one-on-one. I don't mind the call, but why isn't this Ramsey? Why wouldn't you put Ramsey? If this is going to be your call, why not put Ramsey to this single receiver side? He can cover that. And then Christian Watson just pulls away slightly late. I mean, he did a good job hand fighting. He also potentially gets away with, another little push off there. So, another potential OPI. But Duck gets beat. It wasn't like he had bad coverage initially. It's just that's good late separation, and Watson makes the catch, which, he's always struggled making these deep catches, but, not against the Dolphins, of course. But I don't know why that just wouldn't be Ramsey, because it's not like I necessarily mind the call, because on the backside, they get, on the front side of this play where there's the 3 receiver side, they kind of get what they want. I mean, this tight end, they have the tight end could be open underneath. That's where he wanted to go, but like Reed's route would be taken away because his safety is going right to where he wants. They got the underneath thrown, but they get that one-on-one. That should just be Ramsey, in my opinion. That's just a big third down conversion for the Jets. This is a big third down stop. Finally got 3rd and 1 and forced a run on a third down, like that they knew was going to be a run. They leave Bell unblocked, and I thought Bell is much better in these situations left unblocked than Ogba, because he's much more athletic. Bell made some impact plays versus throwing. There were some plays in coverage where I thought, he didn't make a perfect play, but he was able to get there. Good job across the board. Everyone up front, too, kind of like blew up this play. Benito Jones kind of reset that line of scrimmage. Sealer feels this guy coming off of it. Just people rallying to the football. Good job all around, stopping that run, and they held him to a punt. Gave the Dolphins a chance, I guess. It was just a little bit too late. And then here, just the dump-offs. The little quick stuff. Love is able to buy himself a little bit of extra time in the pocket, step up in the pocket, find Jacobs, make the first guy miss. Boom. But once he makes this first guy miss, which is understandable, like if you see where he's coming from, he's just running away from Jacobs, or Jacobs running away from him. But Dotson had a rough game. Dotson ends up making this tackle, actually, but makes it 40 yards down the field. He gets shook out of his shoes. He's just not built for these situations. Like, he'll make tackles when he's, like, in the right position coverage, and he closes, and the guy's, like, maybe 2 yards away from him. But this one, when he has time to prepare for 8 yards and gives him that dead leg, he moved out of the way. Now you got people chasing him. You got the first missed tackle there from, I don't know who that was, but looked one of the corners, maybe Storm Duck. No, that's not Duck. But yeah, they got a missed tackle there. Then Poyer also misses a tackle, and then Dotson makes it. And then that was basically the game. They scored after that, put the game away, because at that point it was still at 16 points, so you could technically come back. And this was the last play. Just another big play opportunity. Dolphins did go man-to-man on a third down situation, which I like. But the Dolphins go man-match, which basically this guy becomes responsible for Jaden Reed man-to-man, and then it becomes Javon Holland peels off and becomes the middle zone defender, but then he's now asked to help chase Christian Watson down the field, which he's not going to have any chance of that. The ball is super underthrown. This one should have been called DPI, but they didn't call it. But just shows that when you do run man-to-man, makes the quarterback have to be a little more perfect. So if he is off, you as you're a little bit closer to that situation. Even though you get beat on the play, it still worked out in your favor. Obviously, at this point, the game was over, didn't matter, and that was all I wanted to show. But really, just came down to, I think, is the defense overall just isn't talented enough right now. You have some good players. There's some good things to build upon. You now have to win out, and I think the defense is still good enough. They're gonna have time this week. Extra time off, that should help them out. I think the older guys, no more Thursday games. That's good for them. They're not going to be good on a short week. They've never been good on a short week. They don't really play in the cold again until, I believe, the Cleveland game, and that game is much more winnable. I think that will be a better, chance for them to beat the narrative, because it feels like whenever they get a chance to beat the narrative, like in a cold game, It's also they have to beat the narrative of beating a good team on the road, and then also on a Thursday game, like all 4 of their narratives all combined into one. Be nice to just get one at a time. But we'll see how it ends up playing out. Uh, I think the team Dolphins, it was sometimes you just lose. That's how it goes. But also, they didn't really change anything. It feels like I still feel like they can finish the season pretty positively. There's still some signs of encouragement there. And sometimes you just lose. I mean, sometimes good teams have bad games as well. Sometimes things unfortunately, don't always go your way. But I do feel like the team, if they don't turn it around soon, whether it's, finishing strong this season or having a good year next year, I don't feel like they're in the best spot future-wise. Because just based on, like, cap space, they have to have a really good draft. Because they are old, don't have a ton of their draft picks on the team. So they have to have some very good upcoming drafts, I think, for this team to and develop some of the younger guys and make some solid pickups elsewhere. But the draft will be huge for this team, I think, when it comes to the future success, short term and long term. So if you guys know the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And it's gonna be